Right, there we go.
Yeah.
Right. Evening, everyone. Welcome to Eagles Chat on this wonderful weekend before the Easter break. Well, the Easter mayhem that is called all the rugby leagues, the rivals round, which is commencing tomorrow night on Sky and then happening on Friday and Saturday as well. Everything all right with you, Sunshine?
I'm smashing, yeah. I've had the day off work. Me and Harry have been to the cinema. All good. I'm ready for a sit down and civilized chat with a grown up now. So away we go. He's in bed.
First thing, they arrived this morning.
Magic stuff.
Yeah, and I've got to show the back. Hold on, the back of mine. It does say Super Joel 12.
You've already plastered it on Facebook, so I think we've all seen it.
The best of it is I got the thumbs up from Faz himself, so he's chuffed to bits with it. But I was very impressed. I was always going to ring Elite Pro Sports and say, "Excuse me, one of the Eagles shirts being released." And then yesterday morning, I got emails saying your parcel from DHL is on its way, and I went, "What parcel? What have I got coming from DHL? What the heck?" And then I went, I know what it is. And I looked on the website, and it was the Eagles shirts, because all of them now were on sale. No pre-order for the Eagles shirts. They're all on sale now. So there you go. If you want Eagles jerseys, get them now, because they'll get them delivered just in time for the first game. So there it is. And everything now's all done. The reason why everybody says, where's all the stationery gone, is because it's all in the Eagles office at this moment. So when it comes to the day at the game, there's going to be a little supporter shot with basics things there, but it's all the stuff that was from the Elite Pro Sports is now, it's in the office, all the pens and the teddy bears and the fridge magnets and things. So you will not be missing out that way. But on behalf of us both, I've just got to say thank you very much to the wonderful reaction we had over the Brendan Lindsay interview that was 2 weeks ago. Apologies for no show last week. It just weren't possible at some point. But thank you very much to everybody's nice words and everything, and the nice reaction. And we made the headline on Sheffield Eagles page itself. First time ever Eagles Chat has been mentioned on the website. It's amazing. Thank you so much to everyone for that. And thanks very much as well for the nice reactions to that big, massive, beautiful red thing that's behind me that says, "Welcome home, Sheffield Eagles." That will be at the first game when we play on May 23rd. That will be there. So when you come up and see me, and if you come up and see me, say hi, yeah, the flag is there. All right. And that's going to be at all the games this year. I don't know how yet, but it's going to be there at all games from Sheffield anyway. But how's the rugby world been with you, mate, at the moment?
Been all right. Obviously, we had the game on Saturday. I think it was the home game at FEV against Whitehaven. The highlights have gone on. I think they went on yesterday on Facebook, Twitter, and all the other medias. Yeah, it was a pretty convincing win. We were superior in all ways. Can't really say any more than that. Clinical, job done. Score could have been higher. I think Isaac missed all the kicks in the first half, but job done in the semi-final away at Lee in a couple of weeks, which I will be at. Yeah, 4 o'clock on a Sunday. Not really sure why it's 4, but that's what we've got. And we have a habit of going to Lee in semi-finals and upsetting them. So fingers crossed for this one. And we've got them away in the league the week before. Senior already reckons we're going to lose the league game and win the cup game. And if, from a selfish point of view, I'll take that. But week before that, we had the whole game in the cup. Was what it was. Never mind. Money made. Thanks to Fed for looking out for us, and we're back there again in a couple of weeks against Newcastle as well. I mean, Saturday's at Doncaster.
Yeah.
And then the week following Friday is Newcastle at home at FEV, and then all this nonsense will finish, and the next home game then will be at OLP, but after that we've got Thacks away, then Leigh twice, and I think that's it. And then I think we are actually at home after that. For those wanting to go to Donny on Saturday, which I'll be there, there's 2 games. Obviously, Donny are playing Cornwall before us. They're kicking off at 1, and then we're supposed to be kicking off at 3. I think that's a very tight timetable to get a turnaround going. So I expect us to be more like 3:15 or so.
Yeah.
But get your sense up to an interesting game between Donny and Cornwall, because given the current form of both teams, it actually might be a contest.
Yeah, Cornwall had about, everybody was saying about how big their crowd was, 1,500 people. So congratulations to them on that one, on their first home, and they're drubbing by Midlands Hurricanes. That's got to be one of the first games actually between two bits of England in rugby league where it wasn't in Yorkshire, Lancashire. The southernest game we've ever had at Cornwall against the next southernest, well, third southernest team if you don't count London. That's got to be the lowest point we've had.
It's the most unusual game of rugby league in the pro leagues I've seen since Toronto played Hemel Hempstead. So, yeah, whatever. But yeah, I mean, Cornwall, encouraging start, 1,500. But what I am finding interesting about them is they are scoring. They are getting beat, yeah, but they are scoring some points, and they look like they're having a go. And that's what it's about. It's a season of learning. I'm not convinced it's a long-term thing, Cornwall Rugby League, but I hope, I always hope I'm wrong. I'm not often, but I always hope I'm wrong.
When are you wrong? You predicted the cup draw no season, so how can you be wrong?
There's a line in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, which is Harry's current favourite. There's a line where Jim Carrey says, "The thing is, I'm never wrong," and Harry says it to me all the time now because he's at that. But I mean, yeah, I mean, let's look at it. They've scored 20 odd points a game. Donny have had a couple of proper beastings in the last couple of weeks. I mean, if you've got the runs and you need to have 5 minutes to yourself in the coming days, go onto Facebook, Twitter, or any other method. Find the highlights of Doncaster's game against Swinton and be royally entertained by how bad they are. It is not a good show. But there was no Missy, there was no Greg Burns, there was no Swinton, there was none of that. It seemed to be a weakened side for whatever reason, and they got absolutely flattened by Swinton, who, yeah, should be one of the top teams in that division, but still, that's worrying for Donny, because they fancied themselves to challenge for promotion as well. I think there's North Wales, Swinton, and Keighley are still undefeated in that division. So probably they're going to be three of the teams up there.
Yeah, I think Division 1, where we'll see what happens with that one. Definitely. I mean, Cornwall, unknown quantity, but yeah. And this weekend, what we got? Is it? Oh, it's London, isn't it? What am I about? It should have been the big opening, shouldn't it have been Friday? It should have been.
Should have been.
Yeah, but it looks great. The stadium looks great.
Yeah.
The Eagles Foundation, they've been putting out posts today asking for people. We've got to say well done to the wheelchair team. They took on Wigan and did a very, very great performance in two teams that were made up from people that don't get as much game time as they should. So they arranged the game against Wigan, and congratulations to all players involved in what looks like it was a very highly entertaining game of rugby. The wheelchair guys are going great guns. Keep going, guys. Come on, keep going. Keep that spirit up, guys. Yeah, we know the results aren't going to, but listen, I waited 6 years for my first win when I started playing. I started playing properly rugby league in '86. I didn't get a win under my belt till I was in the early 90s. So I was playing rugby league for 4 or 5 years before I got a victory. So I do know what that's like to lose a lot. So I thought I would have jinxed it one bit.
When I played for the Forgers 2005, 6-ish, our first season in the Midlands League, we won the first game against Chesterfield, but then we didn't win another thing the rest of the year. But then once we got it together a couple of years down the road, the results came, and we got to the grand final that year. And that is what it's about. You can't just start from nothing and be right there.
No, you can't.
It is a build, no matter what level of the game you're at. The women's, the wheelchair team, amateur sides. It's a building process, and keep at it because it does come, and you will be so rewarded when it does. It's such a fulfillment when you do get there that keep at it. The wheelchair games are actually played at Hillsborough College or at Forge Valley, which I've got no excuse for not making it to. It's on a Saturday afternoon, which is a bit awkward. But if you can get down and watch, I intend to do so soon. Yeah.
Is that where Wisewood School used to be?
No, Forge Valley used to be Myers Grove.
Right, fair enough.
Wisewood School and Myers Grove got flattened.
I know.
They merged to make Forge Valley, which is now on the site of Myers Grove.
Yeah, I know. I went back to Myers Grove first time ever when they were knocking it down.
When he's that age, it's probably going to be Harry's secondary school. So hope it's got better.
Yeah, I remember them days so too well. Go Myers. Get back to last week. We did, the job was done. A
Mm.
very, very good performance from what all I can take. Holding them to one try, which was very, very pleasing, apparently, from Tubby's side of things and everybody else with the side. Thacks is firing on all cylinders again. Wrap him up in cotton wool when he's not playing, will you? Just wrap him up so he can bubble wrap. Or do it. Get one of them suits from Dude, Where's My Car? Going Zoltan, and get one of them all the time and make him wear them, and then he'll be fine for the games. He's getting better every day. He can't believe it, can you? I mean, this is the guy that said it's his last year at rugby league, and he's just getting better and better and better and better every single time he gets on the pitch. I'm dreading it. I am absolutely dreading end of the season. I'm like, are we really going to say goodbye? I mean, surely Thacks might. I know Thacks is going to be got a few pots in his fire, a few fingers in the pies and everything like that, because he's got his own businesses and everything like that. But you think he might be able to teach him? Thacks might be able to teach the next generation of Sheffield Eagles halfbacks.
I mean, I know he is intending to stop, and we wish him well when he does. I'd like him to still be a part of the club, or at least rugby league in some form, because a person of his intelligence and brain, needs to be helping the next generation if he can. I don't think we'll get another year out of him. It was quite clear that this was it, and that's fair enough.
Yeah,
he's getting better. He's just a class act altogether. You don't hear a bad word said about him from any club he's played for.
No.
Even the Hull fans you come across are still like, I can't believe he's still playing. I can't believe he's still playing to the level that he is. So yeah. There was an interesting envelope opened, Pandora's box opened on Facebook this week, wasn't there? Is Thacks our greatest ever player? Let's discuss, Dino. What do you think?
Let's discuss it in a bit. Let's get everything else out, because that is going to go on for quite a bit, that one. It's that, that's really, really hard. Is he the greatest ever? If he gets the highest praise from Mrs. Sheffield Eagles herself, then we to argue, but we will. Because we've got two things. Who's the greatest overseas player, and who's going to be the greatest ever homegrown player? We could do it that way.
Overseas player has already been decided. We know who that is.
Oh.
Well, it's Menzies, isn't it?
Yeah. I can go another way, but is QRT's loan finished now? Is that finished now?
I don't know. It's
been a month, hasn't it?
Well, is it an open-ended thing? I mean, I would assume we would be told if it was ending. I mean, as far as I know, he can stay as long as he wants, probably for the rest of the year for me.
Yeah. We lost a player today, Martin Riley. He's joined at Batley, which is, we're going to say it. I'm going to say it, because then it's been me that gets it. That's a bit suspicious. It says on the US Sheffield Eagles website, he's released. And then an hour, 2 hours later, he's been signed by Batley. I'm going to say that's dubious as hell. Who the heck's been playing who on that one?
Well,
we will find out.
It's not been announced the reason he chose to go. The Eagles statement wording said he wanted to pursue his career elsewhere. Now, usually the reason that players ask for releases is
not playing.
They're not playing. But that's because he was playing, so you can't see how it can be that. It's too far to travel. Well, Oldham's not that far, so there's that. Money, we'll come to money. Homesick, well, it's not full time, so no. The only reason I can think of is that he wanted to go somewhere else. Now, there's people saying, oh, aren't we due a fee? If he's under contract, couldn't we have requested the fee? Well, two things. One, we released him from his contract, so we're under no obligation. And two, the fees at this level are peanuts, so don't worry about that. I just find it very curious that he leaves us, and then within hours he's signed for someone not far away. It doesn't smell right, if you know what I mean. I mean, if you're like you're saying, he weren't playing, fair enough. If he was unhappy about the travel, fair enough. it's not a lot different to travel from Oldham to Batley than it is here. Maybe 25 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on what you want to, which way you drive from Oldham. Because if you come from Oldham, you can drop straight down onto Snake Pass and you're here. If you go that way, you go across M62, turn right, and you're there. I'm not sure there's much between times. So I don't know. It feels a bit strange. Money could very well be a thing.
Yeah.
Money could very well be a thing. I just hope he's not gone to Tubby and said, I want to leave because I don't want to do this, that, and the other, and then pull the wool over Tubby's eyes, because that is not kosher.
No.
It's strange.
It will be. It'll come out in the end. Karma always does.
Comes out in the wash. It all comes out in the wash.
Karma will come out in the end, whatever happens. So we wish him all the success anyway at future passages.
Thank you for what he's done. He's been one of the standouts this season, improving every game. Sorry you've left and that, but on we go. Chance for there's a gap here now to bring someone else in, maybe somebody who's not getting a game elsewhere, or a better chance for somebody like Beans to come in the side a bit more regular. Question for you: if Martin Riley's gone, that means we've freed up some money and everything like that. If we could free that money up and sign QLT for the rest of this year, would you do it? Right. Okay. I'll respond to that. Does the Pope go to church? I thought so. Just putting it in your head, mate. Just putting it in. You would be foolish to not take QLT if he's available for whatever purpose. I'm not having the age thing with QLT. What is he, 37?
Yeah.
You don't want to back it, you don't run it. Age is but a number. Misty's still playing crying out loud. He's playing at championship level. Look what he's doing, QLT. I mean, he's not exactly sitting on the sidelines and saying, yeah, I could do this and do this. He's getting in there and he's scoring. So, yeah, got 2 on Saturday, wasn't it? 2 on Saturday, going up the hill as well. Yeah. So, good luck. Well, what's next? Who's next? I mean, but you can't. I mean, we're in semi-finals now. We know where we've got to go. We've not exactly going to. It was always going to be. I think the road to Wembley was always going to end up going through Lee. It's always going to be. They're moaning already about it. They've already started saying, "Oh God, here we go again," and everything. They're booking their ticket. They're doing a Derek Beaumont what he did 2 years ago when Widner's beat them at their place. He's already started booking his place at Wembley. He's starting booking the hotels and everything like that. And then Widner's went to their place and beat them. And then all of a sudden, Derek Beaumont went, I've got to redo the budgets, because he budgeted for the fact that his company sponsored the cup and everything. Yeah. And then he wasn't there at Wembley. So his budget just went flattened. He did the Wigan of the 90s when they budgeted every year for that trip to Wembley in the Challenge Cup. And then when they didn't get to Wembley, Wigan has never recovered from it since. That's the facts of rugby league. Go back and have a look at it if you want. But yeah, we got Lee, and so we'll have a go. What we can do, anything can happen. 13-13, it's on the pitch. It's on a wide pitch. We like that. We like wide pitches. They'll know they've been in the semi-final. If they've got to get to Wembley through us, bring it on. I always say this. We've got absolutely nothing to lose and possibly everything to gain. Take us on at our peril. Check us on at our peril if you dare, Lee. Take us on and see what happens. Because everybody else does it. And look what happened. I remember last time something like that. Bradford Bulls was it. They thought, oh yeah, they would turn up. And then look what happened. It's happened to us twice with the Bulls. We've absolutely pummeled them when they've underestimated us. And even John Keir said it. Remember? I think we underestimated the Eagles. Really? Ooh, don't do it. Don't do it. Bradford have got their own issues to deal with. The issues being they're not as good as they thought they were. An issue is that they need to get a pitch that's full size, for God's sake. I don't think Ryan Miller scored for him yet, has he? Has he been playing for him? He played. I watched the highlights of the game they played against Barrow, and Ryan, we love you, but what are you doing, mate? He was stood there, and he never saw a ball because the pitch is too narrow. Wingers are pointless at Bradford. I don't think he scored for him. He's playing, and he's playing on wing, but I don't think he's... I don't know. If you look at history of John Keir, right? You look at history of John Keir, and you tell me which winger was actually one of the best try scorers in their division with that wing.
John Kay don't use wingers.
Mm.
We had Nick Pinkney. What was the winger at Wembley? Matty Crowther.
Matty Crowther on left.
Yeah, yeah. And then we have all these wingers we've had when they're in the 99 season and like that. Bull never went to him. He never went to wingers. John Kay's always been safe. He never uses his wingers. So he'll never change his plan. If you're the winger, don't go to a John Kay team. You'll never get used. And everyone's going to say, yeah, but Matty Crowther scored in the final. Yeah, only because it was a misser, man. It was like Keith Senior stumbled and ball went straight to Matty Crowther and he went over in the corner. And they go, oh yeah, but Nick Pinkney scored as well. Yeah, I've just said that quote there, and both the wingers scored in the Wembley final. Yeah, didn't use wingers that year, did you, Dino? Yeah, okay, I'll take that back. Oops, sorry, team, take that. Yeah, that's the force of habit with me going, sorry, team. If you don't know what that's from, I'm not telling you. It's a cracking TV show. Right. Well, we're now getting close. It's now 13th of April. Everybody was going crazy that we were going to be at home for the 15th. Everything, not to be. But it's now 5 weeks, 6 weeks away. On that Monday evening in Sheffield, under the lights, under a brand new stadium and everything, where we take on Widnes, and they are not having the best of times at the moment, Widnes either. Because it seems at the moment they're losing their way. The only teams that's running away with this is Featherstone, aren't they?
Beverley, it's them two, and I still think it's going to be them two all the way along. Third place is up for grabs. York look like the favourites to get it already. Widnes, Strange started well, but they have stumbled, like you said. Barrow had a good start, but they had a little stumble, but they did win at Bradford.
They're third.
I still think Barrow are punching a bit. I still think they're higher than they probably are. But the middle of the league, anything from third down to like 10th is very nicely competitive. I do think that the bottom two now working to London, I think they could very well be the ones to go. Dewsbury have only got one win at 7 or something, so they're a bit ropey.
Do you think London? Right.
London are really, really struggling. And now that I've said that, watch them come up here and turn us over on Saturday.
Yeah, but thing is, if London do go down, is that the end of the Broncos?
No, it's the end of the Scholars.
Do you think they'll merge the two teams?
They'll merge. They'll probably merge Scholars into the Broncos, and they'll probably play their games at New River for at least next year. And then if they do come back up to the champ, they'll obviously do something else because they're playing at Wimbledon this year, and I don't think that's sustainable in League One, to be honest. It would be a darn shame for London Rugby League if their team was relegated to the third level. However, it is on the pitch where this is decided. It's a long road back, is what I'll say. If they do go down, it is a hell of a long road back, especially when you're not in the catchment area for players and you haven't got all the money in the world and you haven't got all the fans in the world. I don't want them to go down, if I'm honest. You know, Workington can go away, Dewsbury can go away, Whitehaven, I don't care much for them. But London, it's on the pitch and they've only got 1 point out of 7 games. It's not great. And we need to be jumping on this on Saturday. It's all right us sitting here and saying London aren't that good, this, that, and the other. But the facts are
we've got to stumble it. We've got to really pull them.
We've got to go and beat them. You know, we've got to go and beat them on Saturday. And I think play as well as we can. And I think we will win the game. Yeah. Our old friend is signed for them on loan. What could possibly go wrong here? I'd say, it might be a problem because he might know how we play. He was literally here for a month, so not sure. But what? Does one player make a team? I mean, they were saying about Whitehaven on Saturday. They brought in a couple of lads from Wigan on loan.
Yeah, and
didn't really affect them overly.
Yeah, one game, one try, guys, one try. Our defense this year has been outstanding.
It is in the games where it's a fair contest, we have defended very well. I mean, what did we concede against Fair? 44?
Yeah.
Teams have done worse there. I'll tell you that now. Teams have done a lot worse there. But as someone said to me, I'd rather go down fighting than trying to wimp your way out of stuff. If you look at where we were against Feb this year to where we were last year,
it was 100%
different.
Yeah.
And I like the style of rugby that we're playing. I like the experience that Ben Jones-Bishop, Chris Wellham are bringing to the side. They ran that game by themselves on Saturday against Avon. If you watch them down that side, they absolutely owned it.
Yeah, Chris, congratulations to Chris on 350 appearances in his career. Well done, fella. That was a cracking video to watch as well with him getting presented.
It was great, wasn't it? It was great. I love that we do stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like that we do those sort of things.
We've got to say congratulations to the assistant coach Jed, who's been announced as the coach of Ireland Rugby League team for this year's World Cup. Congratulations, Jed. No doubt Tubby will be after all your gear and everything like that, because Tubby still wears his Ireland stuff from what I've heard. Ooh. And he'll never change. I still think Tubby's still got his Featherstone shell suit somewhere.
I'll let you ask him. Yeah, congratulations, Jed. What a great opportunity for you. And I don't know if he sees this, but great loyal service to us as a player and as a coach, and you deserve this chance. Go and seize it and go and show the world, go and show the World Cup what you can do. And we're all pulling for you, as well as England and Jamaica, obviously.
Yeah. I've seen there's a Jamaica jersey on eBay as well. Might have that.
It's a very nice top, isn't it? Because we were saying we just released it when we had Joe on the show, didn't we? And
I'll have to have on the back, don't you? You'll have to have that instead of having the Super Mario Bros. You'd have to have the Super Farrell Bros, won't you? You've got to have that on back for something like that. You have to. That'd be funny. Oh, by the way, if anybody's interested in a cheap special offer, England Rugby League jerseys, 10 quid. If you want an England Rugby, if you want to go on Elite Pro Sports, get your England jersey for a tenner. It's a thing. And I paid 20 quid for mine. So, but I will. Right, let's do this, because there's going to be people in our chat room that's also going to be saying it. Right. This week, Katie Pete came out with a statement and said, in her opinion, the greatest player in Sheffield Eagles history is Anthony Thackeray. Now, Kate said this, and I know she'll never sit on the fence in a million years when it comes to the Eagles. Katie, she'll say, and she'll come out and she'll say word for word, and she means what she says. So if you want to join us, guys, I'm going to put the link in our chat room. Right. There it is. I've put the link in the chat room right now. If you want to come on and join us, you are worse than welcome to come on and join and say, who is the greatest player in Sheffield Eagles history from 1984 to the present day? This is going to be a big one. Mark, is Thacks the best player that's ever played in the colours of the Eagles in the 38-year history?
There is an argument for this, yes. I find it difficult to give a full answer here because obviously my Eagles time didn't start till like 98, 99, so I missed a lot in the early days. In the modern era, post 2000, he's definitely one of the best. I find it a bit difficult to compare, Thacks with your wingers, your centres, your props, because you all play different positions. So it's trickier for me to say. I mean, if you're asking me, is he the best halfback we've ever had? Probably. I mean, we've had some belters. He's up there with obviously our good friend Brendan. Brendan was an absolute class act. Dominic Brambani for me was up there as one of the best. Patch Walker, and I think Thacks is definitely in this discussion for the best half we've ever had. Probably is. And what makes it better is we could say, we didn't have him at the peak of his career. Well, when was the peak of his career? Because he's always been, hasn't it? It's not like he started slow and then slowed down later on.
Right.
I think there is an argument for this, yes.
Yeah, I think when you just said he's the best halfback, don't we forgetting about a certain person who at this moment is still the boss? I'd put Tubby up against anybody. If somebody, it's the biggest argument for the Sheffield Eagles all-time team, the number 7 shirt will be the biggest argument of the lot. I mean, number 9's also an argument. Number 1, or all of them, all from 1 to 17, you're gonna have an argument for the greatest Sheffield Eagles side of all time. You can do that, but hold on a minute. I'm gonna just look at this light on the thing. That's better. That's better. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'm having a refit. Greatest number 7, which is Thacks v Aston. And Tasha's just putting that. Natasha, she's just putting. I like Thacks a lot, but I'm not convinced. And she just deleted it. So I think I might have just said some out of turn, but sorry, Tash. But is Thacks the greatest player in Eagles history? He's definitely up there.
Oh yeah.
There's no denying the contribution, everything like that. If he isn't, who is? That's the argument. Because if people are going to say it, if he's not the greatest player in Sheffield Eagles history, in the 38-year history, who is? You've got to come back with that. You can't just say, I love all these type of things when they say, yeah, he's not the greatest. Really? Well, then who is? Instead of telling us he's not, who, in your opinion, is? Tasha's come back with Q, Mizzy, Menzie, all stand out to me in more recent times. What about Powell in your days? Simon, yeah. I
don't think you can have the argument whether he's better than Darrell, you said, because they play different positions.
Different eras. It was different eras and different positions.
Different eras of the game, yeah. Yeah.
But, so Powell did play standoff.
Okay.
And Chris Fowler's just come up with that. You could ask 50 fans and they could give you 50 different responses. That's the thing. Yeah. That's the beauty thing about it. Darrell Powell played 6 and he played 4 and he played 13 for the most of his Sheffield Eagles career. Occasionally, remember, he did play fullback. I agree. I think everybody has got their own favorite. Tasha says, I agree. I think everybody has their best ever player.
Yeah.
I can go through my 1 to 3. Everybody don't believe when I asked them the greatest loose forward ever for Sheffield Eagles. For me, it was Warren Smiles. Because Warren was only there for a year and a half, 2 years. But his contribution when he played was immense. I mean, the guy did 63 tackles in one game one day. 63 tackles. I'll always say I will put Warren above anybody at loose forward for Eagles because he's immense. His contribution then in immense. He just loved tackling. And he was a bona fide replacement for Cookie when he got injured. You put Warren at hooker. Warren at halfback was just Warren at hooker and 13 was just immense. And I'll always be Warren. And I'm biased as hell because I love him to bits. I think he's been amazing, him and Roz. Their contributions off the pitch on it was just unbelievable. So the argument we're saying is like, yeah, okay, thanks. Katie said it. If she's in here, hello, Katie, and everything. Everybody started talking now. Everybody's in the chat room now talking away.
I don't know. I don't get the chat, Dino, on my.
Well, very simply, we've got.
Yeah.
Right. Oh. Right. There's just been a quick announcement from the SESA from Steve Dalton. Dean, can you just mention the post I've just put on Facebook from the SCSA? Unfortunately, SCA is disappointed to announce that due to the very low interest in the coach and travel to Featherstone for the Newcastle game, yet again, we are unable to run a coach. Undaunted, we are wanting to give it another go. So we are, here we go. So we are looking to arrange travel to Leeds for the semi-final for the 85 Cup. Price will be £25 for the members, 27 for non-members. Please, can anybody wishing to take us up on this, please email interest and on how many group to Sheffield Eagles fans at gmail.com. So they repeated the announcement is there is not enough interest for the Featherstone to go to Featherstone. And unfortunately, so they're now setting the sights on a coach travel to the semi-final on the 8th of May to Lee. It's £25 for members, 27 for non-members. Please take up your interest with emailing how many places and everything to the Sheffield Eagles fans at gmail.com. So that's just coming from Steve Dalton. So
yeah, it's disappointing to hear. You know, it is tricky. It is difficult to organise this travel when there's not enough interest because
Yeah.
A lot of people say, "Oh, we need it," but then a lot of people also don't use it when it's available.
Yeah.
I don't because I have my own ways and means. The Newcastle game, I've got to drive up to it because I've
Yeah.
got to get home quick because it's Lado's birthday next day, and I've got to set the house up for his present and build his present and so on. He's having a trampoline, so I've got to build that. So in a perfect world, that game should have been Thursday or something. Friday's not great. If it was Saturday or Sunday, I had no chance at all. But
Yeah.
Friday I can do, but I've got to get home. So I'm gonna have to drive up, unfortunately. But for those of you that can use it, please.
And Chris Fowler's just come up with a great point. With the price of fuel at the moment, I think the bus price is a good one. With the price of fuel, so yeah, that's a good point. That's a very, very good point.
It ain't gonna get any lower either.
No, it's not. That's a very good point.
Mm.
25 quid to Lee. Dear me, it used to be about a £5 when I used to go.
It's showing your age. I mean, it's what, an hour and a half run, so it's not like it's not round the corner. So obviously, yes, it is going to cost. Would it be any cheaper on the train? Well, we don't know because you can't get to Lee on the train. I don't know what I'm doing about that. I'll look into that because I don't know what I'm doing for Lee. I'm going to the Cub game, but I don't know my movements yet about what I'm going to be doing. So, we'll see. But,
before we get back to this discussion, I've just remembered something.
Oh, God.
Today, Sheffield Eagles announced that they want somebody to don the brand new mascot outfit. I can probably say from the past experience, it's an experience you will love in your heart and your soul. It is a role that you grow and grow into it. It is a wonderful thing. It is the best thing I ever did for the Eagles. In all the jobs I did, in everything in my form I did, it is the job I loved and I got the most out of it. I remember getting punched. I think one of the worst scenario I did. We did an on-the-road game at Northampton in '98, and all these kids from Birmingham decided it was funny to punch me while they was running past me when I was in the outfit. They didn't like it when the fact is when I went out of my costume, went up to their teacher and went, right, I want him, and I want him, and him, and him, and him, and him. And he went, yeah, who are you? I says, I'm the mascot that they just punched. And he went, right, yeah, I saw it. Right, come here. And they had a group of 10 lads and they were all crying because they'd been found out and they thought they could get away with it. So that's the worst thing that ever happened. The greatest day for me was as a mascot, can't knock it. I paraded the cup after Wembley. Yes, I wasn't at Wembley. We all know the story behind that. Cheers, Wigan. But Sheffield Eagles gave me their greatest 5 minutes. They said, we want you to parade the cup. It didn't happen to be the fact that we was parading it against a team that we'd beaten at Wembley the week before. We had Wigan at home, but the reception we got that day, me and Kiddy, I'll give Simon Annis his due as well. The reception we had that day was immense, from the Wigan fans to Eagles to everybody who wanted the pictures took with us with the trophy. If you want to do that mascot, I'm open for messages and everything like that. Ask me anything you want. I'll be honest, but I'll tell you straight. If anyone's got the chance to do this mascot, take it. It is amazing. It is the best days you'll always have. You'll have 1,000,001 memories. Just one simple thing. Do not dive over the advertising boards, especially onto a 3G pitch or at Wembley when you don't see the grass and it's concrete and you get concussed. Don't dive over the advertising boards. It's a great trick, but A, you'll mucky the suit, and I'm sure Natasha will go crazy if you mucky the suit. And 2, think of your own self, say for your own welfare. Think of that. But please, 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 if anyone gets the chance to do it, if you ever get if you've got that thing inside of you saying, oh, do I want to do this? Yes, do it. Because you'll regret it if you don't. If you want to do it, do it. You grow into the role. You grow into it. The first person that ever did Eagle Man, was the gentleman that ran the Cheerio to Cheerio shop in Meadowhall. He was the first Eagles man ever. He was the owner of Cheerio to Cheerio. He started being the crazy one, jumping over the advertising boards and everything. Then there's another fella came on. I forgot his name, but he was a cracking Jan. He did it from 96 to 98. And then he just said, I'm not doing it anymore. And next minute then I took over 98 and did it 98, the whole of 98. And then I got promoted to being kitman. Oh, sorry, demoted. I was demoted. I wasn't promoted. I was demoted. But my last day as a member of the club before I'd left for Pastures New, I remember begging Mike Turner and Ralph Rimmer all week long. And this is what people don't know. I begged them. He said, look, let me do second half as Freddie. And they're going, what? And I went, I want to do the second half as Freddie. John Smith, that was it. It was John Smith that did it. I begged him to let me do it for my last home match before I left the club. I said, can I do second half as Freddie? And I did the halftime talk. Everybody, John Key did a halftime talk against, I think it was Wakefield Trinity. Came out and all the suit was there waiting for me. And they went, and Mike Turner stood there. God bless him. I love Mike forever. And he went, yo, be Freddie for 40 minutes and just rock it, will you? And I went, you watch me. And I just went schizo. I grabbed a drum from a 10-year-old girl. She got this big drum. And I just said, can I borrow it? And I was banging it as though my life depended on it. And I took that suit off and I was done. Energy had gone out of me. And then Johnny Lauders threw me in the shower. I remember that. But if you get the chance to do it, guys, please do it. If you're ever going, oh, I had a chance to be the mascot, be that mascot, be it. Please, let me go into my retirement knowing there's a replacement. Please let me retire. Please let me retire. That's all I ask. I want to retire.
I'm not doing it. Before we start, I'm not doing it. No, I'm a fan. Sorry. I mean,
Simon,
it's time for me. You have to be here early and finish late and stuff, and I can't. So,
Simon, we've got comments here. Simon Chummy says, I can remember you coming off the helicopter as Freddie, and I can remember my time as Freddie as I used to do it at Don Valley. Yeah, Simon Travis was another gentleman that did it.
about a century, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. Richard, I'd love to walk out. Richard Anderson, I think you're a bit old now. Chris Fowler says, Richard, I'd love to walk out with the players. I think this would be great publicity for the club. If we had a different fan do it every week, they'd have to pay, obviously. And Tasha says she might be in it herself yet. So, yeah, Tasha might be in it herself. Tasha, if you can't get anybody, love, ask me. I'll do it. I've got no problem. I'll do it for first game again. I mean, I'll swap out from old suit and into the new one.
I'd do it for a favour, but not full time. I've nowhere to store the outfit, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh dear, don't. I remember coming home on the tram with the outfit. Oh God, I remember walking through Hillsborough on a Friday night with the outfit under my arms and everyone looking at me going, is that who I think it is? And I'm going, yeah. I've had to bring outfit on. Always remember that. Not to be the Eagle man, but to be the match day mascot. Chris Fowler's wanting to be the match day mascot.
Go for it, Chris.
Go for it, Chris.
You'll have to come to games, but yeah.
Go for it, Chris. Right, let's get back to we've said it now. If you're going to be a mascot, please contact Natasha at the club. I'm sure she'll welcome the conversations and everything that goes with it. I can't wait. I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to shake the hands of the new mascot. I really can't. Back to this discussion. Is Thacks the greatest ever Sheffield Eagles player? If he's not...
What's the word on the street, Dean?
I'd put him in top 3.
I think there's a good shout for that.
There's 3. Yep. It's like said in the chat room, you could ask 50 fans and they'd come up with different things. I mean, the thing with the fullback, when we always had the greatest question we've always had is the greatest fullback in Sheffield Eagles history. No matter how many times we said the rules, they've got to play for the club for one full season, more than one season. So they've got to play for us at least a season and a half, 2 years, whatever it is. And everybody goes for Gary Jack.
It was only 1 year.
It was only one season. That was it. Lauren Lachaise. Oh my God, Richard, you're going back now.
Lauren Lachaise?
Lauren Lachaise, yeah. Yeah, he played for us in 94, 95, when we had the French connection and everything like that.
In my era, Andy Pointer, Johnny Woodcock, QLT, are the ones that immediately come to mind. We've got Josh now, who's been class as well. So there's some there for you. I mean, of all those, QLT probably is my absolute favourite of the four.
Yeah. Michael Turner, I know now you are extracting the urine on that one. And by the way, don't even promote his ego anymore. And Michael Turner just said Andy Tyres. Talk about feeding his ego even more.
Before my time. Okay, yeah.
Well, he is Everton's number one.
Yeah, there you go.
So
I was still in nappies when he made his debut. So how's that make you feel?
I was ball boy.
I think I was still in nappies. I have to ask my
mother. I think top five for me.
What was the date of the first game? September 84.
September the 2nd, 1984. Yeah.
So I'd have been 2 years and 3 months old. So
I was 15.
Still in nappies. I don't remember.
Yeah, I was 15. I think he's up. Oh, Andrew Morris, he's up there, but then there are others like Lee Jackson, Savatabu, and Soji. I wouldn't put Lee Jackson in. Lee Jackson was only at the club a short while. He was there 2 years. Jacko was only there for a couple of years. He wasn't there a long time. I think it was 93, 94. 93 he signed, and then he left us in 95, 96 to join ARL with the War of the Super League. Jacko wasn't there that long. For me, I mean, I know everybody loves Jacko, and yeah, great hooker, don't get me wrong. But if somebody said to me, put a choice between Lee Jackson and Mick Cook, it's Cookie every day of the week. It's Mick Cook every single day. You can say what you want, but there was nobody harder and nobody better ever than Mick Cook at hooker. Nobody. Even Lee Jackson in his days always said it, that Cookie was amazing. And that's it. Chris Fowler says, one of the best I ever saw is Jeff Hardy. Another one that qualifies now because he played a season and a half for the Eagles.
Yeah.
But this argument could go on forever and ever and ever. But the argument is, it's not about which is the best player for Sheffield Eagles in the chat room. Is Thacks the greatest player of Sheffield Eagles? That's the question we've got. And he's in the top three for me. He's top three of the club ever.
Yeah.
But who is the greatest player? That's the thing. If you're going to say top three, I will always say the greatest player to play for Sheffield Eagles, on the pitch, off the pitch, contribution, Star Wars, Mark Aston. No question.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. He's done everything. Right. For the club. It's the age-old question. You can have this in football. Who's the greatest footballer of all time? Pele, Maradona, Messi, Ronaldo. They played at different eras. You can't compare them.
Yeah.
So you can't really answer that question. If you want my opinion, it's probably Pele. I hate Maradona's guts. But you can't compare the players all the same time because they played over 50 years.
Yeah. Tash has just said a name, and I forgot this, and I apologize straight away. Keith Senior.
Well, yeah, Keith, absolutely. There's an argument for Keith.
Yeah, and Chris said it's all about opinions. Yeah, it is. Keith Senior is the greatest ever English centre. I'll go with that.
For us? Oh, yeah, definitely.
Easy. There's been look at Keith's career. I mean, he joined us with us, and then it's just
Rhinos, Great Britain, England, a lot, yeah.
Yeah, Sheffield Eagles and Rhinos. That's it. That's his two clubs. Yes, he did join Celtic Crusaders, but they folded, so he didn't count that anymore.
I forgot that even happened.
Yeah, he was signing for Celtic Crusaders, and then they dropped out of Super League, and then his contract was nil and void. Remember that?
I didn't even know that. I probably knew it happened, but I couldn't remember.
Sorry, it's my brain. So I'm called CFAX. It's full of useless information.
No, I'm right.
But the thing, when you see the names that we've had and the people that's done the jersey, no matter if it's been this jersey or it's been one from 30 years ago, 40 years ago, whatever it is. Lewis Coleman, Menzies is the greatest. Jukebox is amazing try scorer.
If you look at pure stats, highest try scorer, most in a game. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
We've already done it. Chris, we've already done it. We've already congratulated Jed. And can we get him on Eagles chat? I don't know if he's on social media, mate.
I think he used to be on Facebook. I don't know if he is anymore.
Paul Carr wasn't a top try scorer in his day. Paul Carr, you could say that Paul Carr as well was the Eagles' top try scorer in his day. No, Paul Carr was never a top try scorer.
Listening. Bear with me. I am still listening to
you. This argument's going to go at 8. He's on Twitter, right? So that's all. This argument's going to.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, this argument's going to go on forever and ever. I can see it happening now. Katie, what have you done? What have you done, girl?
It's not the first time we've ever said that.
Oh dear. Right, change it. Right. Now, the greatest overseas player.
Menzies. This isn't an argument.
Menzies, no argument. That's the greatest overseas player we've ever had is Menzies.
Then there's an argument for Q. There's an argument for Brendan.
Oh God, there's the amount of people we've had over the years.
Gary Jack again, with
Bruce McGuire. I put Maguire above. Do you know when people say Gary Jack? I would put Bruce Maguire above Gary Jack every single day of the week. Easily. You give me Bruce Maguire any single day of the week over Gary Jack. Hands down. Overseas player. The players that we've had over the years have been amazing. Yes, I mean, we've had a couple of Davil Trindles and all that.
Davil Trindle, Aaron Groom, who else? What's his name? Oh, yeah, there's Offerdall. There's been some duffs, but, you can cope, can't you?
I think the greatest dummy I ever saw was by a gentleman called Jeff Hardy, because he used to pass the ball, and he did it in training once, and I watched him do it, and he threw it, but as he was throwing it, the ball came out of the back, and even Darryl and Mark went, "How did you do that?" And he goes, "Oh, but I was made to do it." Every time he did it, everybody followed the ball, but then the ball went the other direction. And Powell was going crazy, going, "Get him to use that in the game. Come on, we need to use that in the game." He said, "If he could do that in the game, I guarantee we'll score." And Edmonton's going, no, it's just for show. We're not doing that in the game. And he never did it in the game. But off the pitch, training, he was doing his thing. And we're like, and every time he did it, everybody followed the ball. And we're going, "Where's the ball gone?" And it was the other side. He used to do it so beautifully. Jeff Hardy was amazing for it. Sam Panappa's another one. Yep, yeah. Sam Panappa, Des Meyer, Tuara Nikau, Francis Leota,
Petty Taylor,
Ivor Rapati. But Ivor Rapati would not qualify because he didn't stay a full season. Because he went to Oldham, top try scorer of the division, and he went to Oldham at the end of the year as Chris Fowler. Well, Jeff do that because he gave him stick at Featherstone and at the Old Trafford one.
And then you've got modern stuff. You've got Missy. You've got
Missy, yeah.
What else?
Brendan Lindsay, yeah.
Well, Brendan's. I've already said him. God knows how many times. What else? Yeah, it's all there. It's all there.
Yeah, and Tash has just come up with a name, and I apologise because I should know this guy by now. Paul Broadbent. The guy that everybody slated all his career, saying, "No, he's not good enough." And
was good enough.
Paul was amazing. First choice prop for the series against Australia, England, Australia, England, Great Britain, Eagles. He's played for Sheffield Eagles, for Halifax, and I think a couple Gateshead as well. And everything. And Michael Turner says Darryl Powell. Well, Mr. Firsts of Sheffield Eagles of all the time. The amount of firsts that Darryl did, he can't knock. But it's a different era. I mean, Darryl played most of his career in a rule where it was a 5-meter rule. And then they did this. The 10-meter rule didn't come until 91, 92. They did the 10 meters. But the 5-meter rule and everything, Darryl was just try scored of supreme. His 28 tries in one season was just out of this world. And he's still the record try scorer with 5. I think, has anybody ever beat 5? Is he still 5?
Menzies had 5. Menzies had 5.
Menzies done 5, yeah.
Menzies, well, if he hadn't, he should have done. I don't know if QLT did 5 once. I know he did 4 a few times.
Here's a one for you. Now, this will get you going. The greatest try scored by an Eagles player.
I can answer that right now. It was Hughes in the final against Featherstone that started on our line. where it goes out to Menze, then inside to Missy, then to Scott Turner, and then he gets that ridiculous ball away to Q, who goes 50 meters. That's the best try we've ever scored. This is not an argument or a discussion. That is it.
Are you sure?
The only things that get even close to that were that qualifiers game, that Super 8s game at Salford, when we were frankly just transcendent. There were some belters in that game, but the greatest individual try was that one in the final against Feb, and that I've shot that down straight away. Anybody who thinks of a better one, I'm all ears, but you won't.
I can think of a couple.
Try me.
Sonny Nicol.
Bear in mind, I'm a modern era person, so if it was
all
in the
right.
mid-90s, I probably won't have seen it.
One of my favourites. One of my favourites was Sonny Nicol against Featherstone, 1989. It's the second game ever in the first division. David Michael picked it up in his second ever game as a professional. Dave Michael, 17 years old, playing fullback, picked it up behind his halfway line, dummied 3 people. All you had the commentator was, "Go, Michael, go, Michael." He dummied 3 people, run down the right side of the pitch. Then he just passed it. He must have ran 50 yards, passed it to Sonny Nicol, and Sonny Nicol, second rower, sprinted like an Olympic sprinter and got in the corner. Greatest one I ever saw live, I think that. Tasha says, Gary Lowe caught the ball on our line at Bradford and ran the full length, was quite magic, that as well. Menze nutmegging that guy at Thacks.
Yeah, Gary Lowe's take and finish, that was pretty special.
Yeah.
The thing about that one though, Tash, was it was a brilliant take, but Gary Lowe could have run forever, that lad. But this one against Fev went through so many different types of hands, and against one of the best defences we played against that year. I think that just gives it the tip. But yeah, and pretty much everything by Gary Lowe was probably pretty special, wasn't it?
Yeah. Do you know what I always said is the greatest performance by Sheffield Eagles play? And I'm not saying it because it's him, but I still think it was the greatest 80 minutes I ever saw. Mark Aston versus Wigan when we won 10-5 and Mark scored all the points.
I've seen that game. It's been a good few years, but I have seen it, yeah.
Yeah. That is the greatest performance I ever saw by Sheffield Eagles play. That day when we took on Wigan at Don Valley, March 94, and he's had Lance Todd Trophy winner, and he's done all the other bits and bobs in his life, and he played for Great Britain. But that day, for me, Mark Aston ruled the world. To see Mark that day take on Edwards, the mighty Togamala, Andy Farrell, Scott Quinnell, the whole of the Wigan pack, and we beat them 10-5. And then they when did a t-shirt somewhere. I still wish today we could have done it saying Aston 10, Wigan 5, because Tubby was immense that day. There was no Tubby and Powell, that halfback combination that day destroyed Botica and Edwards. They was out of this world that day. Unbelievable performance that day for Tubbs. I'll always say that. Here we go. Another one. A good call on that game. One of the highlights of me being an Eagles fan. Lewis Coleman says, Gary grew wings against the Bulls, but I'm with Mark on this one. It was even too quick for the camera.
Yeah, Ian Hardman. Rumor has it Ian Hardman's still looking for that pass, and it's only been 10 years. I am struggling to think of a try better than that. We've scored some absolute worldies, but I mean, from a selfish point of view, it's not the best try we've ever scored, but for what it meant at the time and how berserk we went, there's the winning try at Toulouse in 2009 by Ashley Thacks. But I think the Dane McDonald interception up the hill at Fev in the 60-40 to absolutely cap the game in the last minute, because even though we'd probably won, they were camped on our line and they'd been at it for like 3 sets. And Liam Finn had the ball on the far left and there were nothing on. So he just literally launched it. Dane saw it the whole way, caught it on the 20, under the sticks, done, up the hill. And Kate put a video of it on. She put it on Facebook and it still comes up every year on the anniversary. And there's absolute limbs up there. And just for the whole mentalness of it, that's one of my favourites. Yeah. But the grand final one is going to take some beating. If you can think of a better one, please tell me and prove me wrong. I'm all for that, but I can't think of any more. And I've seen a lot of them.
Tasha said, "Can we see this try at all? I need to see it."
Which one?
The Q. I think it's the Q one. And then Anderson says, "Yes, we're both. That Toulouse try was brilliant."
Yeah, it was because we were first team to go out there, and it was a very cagey game. It was 12 apiece, and it were red hot. Our lads played brilliant in that because it was steaming hot. We were talking 30 Celsius here at 6 o'clock on a Saturday night. It were bloody hot, and they had to break the game into 420s because they had to have water breaks because it was that hot. I think it did that every time out in Toulouse. Anyway, Brendan missed a drop goal for us, and then I think one of theirs missed for them, and so on. I think Mitch even tried one or something like that because Mitch can kick, as we know. And then literally I had a nothing there were literally no time left, and we thought this is a draw. We're going to lose by the odd point. It went out to Tanguy Party on the right, and he got a gap, and he were off, and he went all the way up there, and Ashley Thack was on the inside into him under the sticks. Beer in the air, the lot. We'd won the game in the last minute out in France for the first time. And whilst Toulouse weren't that great because they just lost 70 on the week before at Widnes, it was the manner of it which was just brilliant. And all bets were off at the end of that game. They were just beer and everything, shirts. Senior went over the advertising board, the lot. It were absolute, well, as Jimmy Whaley would say, it was absolute scenes.
So that's where that comes from. So that's where that comes from.
I invented it, but that's where I got it from anyway.
We just seen today as well that the Eagles have announced a learning difficulties rugby league side that's going to be taking place. Congratulations to everybody on that. The Sheffield Eagles name now is more covered by all shapes and sizes and means and everything. Well done to everybody that's going to be involved with that. I think that's great. And I think
that's now got for everyone should be commended. 15 years ago, I'd have probably been playing in that learning disability side, but I'm too old for such things. But you've got to where we've gone from literally 5 years ago, looking like we might go pop at the end of 2016, and it's took some time. But even with no stable base as a stadium, we've managed to rebuild the first team to a competitive level. We've got wheelchair, we've got women's, we've got kids out of schools. The progress that we've made over a number of years is just phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah. The development has been outstanding, and that's down to all the people at the Eagle Foundation and Andrea, the development officer, and everybody at the office that's doing it. Liam who's working with the World Cup now. It's all these wonderful, wonderful folks over the years that has put in the work, that's put in the hard yak, that's put everything they've got into this, and we'll always be in debt. It's nice to see the name of the Eagles, and it'll be this shirt. I mean, everybody's on about this one. And then everybody will be wearing this shirt this year with the sponsor and everything like that. Look at that. I like this shirt. Is it in
also,
my top?
A very quick plug. One of our sponsors on the front of their Extra Time. I didn't know this until Saturday, but Extra Time, I can tell you now, as a visitor to the premises, I can fully recommend it. One of the best bars for sports in Sheffield you'll see. Get yourselves in there, and 20% off everything, I believe, for season ticket holders. So, because we're playing games away at the moment, in other places. If you do go on the train and you come back to Sheffield, pop yourself in there when you get back to Sheffield for a jar or two. They'll be certainly happy to see you. And they've got a brilliant mural on the wall as you go in downstairs. They've got all the trophies. I think if somebody's painted on the wall all the trophies won by Sheffield teams. So it's like the FA Cup, there's not the playoff final trophy because United have never won one. But what there is
the Division 4 trophy won by Sheffield United on there?
Did they even get a trophy for winning such a level? I don't
know.
And I'm not that bothered. But what they have got the Challenge Cup and the 1895 Cup in there. So
excellent.
Go and have a look. That first time I saw it, I nearly marked out. It was great. Yeah. So big plug to our friends at Extra Time.
I know I'm jumping the gun here.
Oh, God.
But is 1895 final 28th of May?
It is, and it's at Tottenham, not Wembley, as you keep saying. What's wrong with you?
Mrs. is in Tenerife.
And what's that got to do with anything?
I think she comes back day before. I'm not sure, but I hope she comes back day before.
And this is a problem because
Nobody's look after the dog otherwise.
I'm sure you have kennels in that part of the world, don't you?
I ain't sending my dog to a kennel. No, no, we'll sort it out. But we'll cross that bridge when I come to it. We're definitely going to get. I ain't missing final. If we get in, there's no.
It's on Challenge Cup final day, and it's actually before the final. Right. I think it was last year as well.
Well, okay. Well, I don't need to watch the main one. I just want to watch the 1995. Oh,
that's not the attitude. Well, it depends. if we lose, I'll probably stop for the. Well, this is all hypothetical. If we lose, I'll probably stay for that. If we win, I'm going to be somewhere, mate.
Right. I'll make a deal with you. If a certain team in West Yorkshire by the name of Shuds, that starts with Shuds, gets in the final, I'll not watch it. I'll never ever watch them. But if anybody else qualifies, yeah, I'll stay.
If it's Saints v Udders, if it's Saints v them, I might stay and watch so that Saints will absolutely mace them. So that'll be enjoyable.
I want OKR versus OKR Wigan. I'd love that one. OKR Wigan.
That'd be different, wouldn't it? I mean, we're going to have Uds or OKR in the Challenge Cup final, which is nice because I don't recall the last time any gun got there. I don't recall OKR ever getting to it final in my time. I know Huddersfield got there in 2006 at Twickenham.
Didn't OKR get thrashed by Rhinos a few years ago in final?
Oh, was that? Oh, was that the semi-final? Was it the final?
Was it? I think it was a final. Can anybody else? If anybody can remind me.
Yes, they did. Yes,
yeah,
right.
it was.
It was when Lizzie Jones did the pre-match, and it was brilliant. And Leeds absolutely walloped him. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I think there Tony Smith might put a little thing and just saying this ain't going to happen again. But other than that, I mean, I think the greatest ever Plaguers player, you can't say. It's the amount of players that's played over the years. Thacks is going to be one remembered for the all-time greats of this club.
Yeah.
He's going to be remembered. The greatest, you can't say who the greatest player is because it's like you say, it's a different era. There's different times, different sets of rules, different jerseys, different ways of played the game. The balls are different now. Everything is completely different. But all we can say is if they were making a top 13 of the greatest Sheffield Eagles, Thacks has definitely got to be in there with one of them anyway.
Well, I'll tell you what I do know, Dino. At the end of the season party, and this I'm officially pitching this to the club if someone's listening. At the end of season, the end of this year, wherever we have it, extra time would be great again. Thacks must be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And by then we might have to have a proper Hall of Fame. So
yeah. Well, I think we have got a Hall of Fame, but we
have got one, but I don't think there's like a wall with pictures on, is there? So
no. Oh, what last member was it? Lindsay that was last member to go in it. Was it Brendan member to go in?
Brendan was when he left, but I think Jack and has been put in as well since.
Jack, yeah.
Yeah, I think Jack's in there. I don't know where it is, to be honest. I don't know if it's online anywhere. I haven't looked into it, but I'm sure I thought Jack is as well. If not, he should be.
I remember the first people to go in it. I remember the first 6.
Yeah, it was Caff. It was Gary Caff, Rich Pepper, Tubby, Beans and Kia, were it?
Beans and Powell.
And Powell, right.
Yeah, John Keir's not in it.
I don't know why not. But...
I don't know if even Keith's in Hall of Fame.
I don't think he is.
I don't know if he is or not. That's a good one. I mean, bring back this Hall of Fame so we can vote. It's good like that. So bring up these Hall of Fame so we know the rules and everything like that.
Don't need to vote. You know, if we all need to vote, then we tell them now. But yeah, once we've got a stable base and stadium, we can have a place on the wall where we can say this sort of thing. But yeah, we need to do that with Thacks, given his mental influence on the club.
Right. Fast forward to this weekend. It's the game that should have been our opening game at the stadium. It's the game that we always looking forward to when they announced it, saying this is our first home game of the season. It was Sheffield Eagles v London Broncos. It's at Doncaster. It's on Saturday. Is that right?
Yes, it is. Saturday. Kick-off at 3, but you might turn up late and still make it.
Right. 3 o'clock kickoff.
with Donny kicking off at 1, and that's 2 hours for them to play their game, be off, us to warm up and start. I think that's a stretch.
Yeah. So we're playing at this moment. We're playing out of skins this moment. We held Whitehaven to 1 try. Does anybody know if Keort's gone back? Is he still with the club for this weekend? Have we got him for at least 1 more game? Hopefully he has. I know Tubby announces a squad of set 21 every week. Have we got 21 players left?
Got 21, yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Jed will be on his way back soon, is it? Yeah. Full back. Goes. My mind's just gone back.
Yeah, he's coming back from injury. I don't know where we are, but it should be hopefully soon. Yeah,
he'll be back soon. Got to say, well done to the boys. Everything for some wonderful performances over the last few weeks. Firing everything this weekend. Yeah, we know who's London have signed. Yes, we know the history. Yes, we know who he is and everything. Yes, blah blah blah. But come on, boys, we need another one. Keep firing up that table. Keep everybody going. How are they winning with the resources? How can they do it with the resources? And as you said for the relegation, my relegation to I want Dewsbury and Swinton. No, Swinton. Dewsbury and London. I don't want Workington because I like Chris Thorman. I think Chris Thorman deserves a crack at Championship. He's doing great.
You're right, but we've got to look at the facts here. We played them away, and they weren't great. I'm not going to get onto the whole who plays for them thing. You know, we've had that chat, but I think we've got to look at it in all honesty. You know, they're going to be down there. Chris Fowler said this week that he don't think London will go. I'm not disagreeing with you, Chris, but I think that if they are going to stay up, they need to get on with it. Dewsbury's only won 1 game, which annoyingly was against us. That's the thing. I think there's 4 teams down there that should be worried. I think if you Workington, Whitehaven, London, and Dewsbury should all be quite worried, and I think everybody else should be fine as long as you don't get on a mentally bad run. I certainly don't think we're going to be in any bother as it stands.
No,
unless something severe goes on. But don't know. You would think we'd be all right. Yeah. What have we got any other fixtures you want to review from last week? You know,
give me a sec. Let's do a quick
result.
Let's do a quick one, and then we'll let everybody go, and then go to sleepy bites because everybody's got work.
While you're firing up the hamster on the internet, there, I've got an idea I wanted to pitch, gauge an opinion. You know, we normally once a year we have like an unofficial retro shirts day at games.
Yeah.
A lot of people wear retro shirts anyway, and that's great. But there's one game a year that we like to pitch where make an effort to get your oldest Eagle shirt out. It's normally Batley away. Now, we've already sort of played that, but it was postponed because of the weather. We don't know when we're going to play it, and it's probably going to end up being midweek. So that's a bit of a stickler. So here's a pitch. Summer Bash.
That's right. Yeah, we said that earlier, did we?
Did we? Have we said it already? Yeah.
Yeah, Summer Bash. Get that the retro jersey around.
Retro stuff out. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but you know, I do repeat myself because, as you know, I'm autistic, so I do that. So yeah. Summer Bash. Let's have a chat about it, and I think it's a great day to get out your most retro shirt.
If I go, I'll be wearing that one because it's 30 years this year since we won the Division 2 championship. I will be wearing that one. That's the 30-year anniversary jersey. 30 years since we won the Premiership and the Division 2 title. I would be wearing that one. That's mine. That's the one I want to be wearing. Definitely.
That is one of the more popular ones. And was that the first one that was like the red and gold with the V? Was that the first one that had that?
No.
You're about to show me the one that did.
There was one before that. There was one before that. The first one was 1987. It had black trophy on it. I've got it in that wardrobe there. This was the second one. We had one for the Premiership final, that white trophy, which are rare as anything, because next week's guest, Paul McDermott, he's still after his Premiership final jersey, but that was 1989. And yeah, I wonder who wore that one. It wasn't Darryl Powell. I know exactly who wore that. That's an academy jersey. So,
do you want to do a bit of a plug about next week's guest?
Yes, next week's guest. He's been on before and he's begged us to come back on. And I am not joking. He wants to talk about the X League. He wants to talk all about his new role as the X League ambassador of the game. I've been sent the rules. I need your email address, mate, because I've been sent the rules for this game. So I've got to swat up and everything on this X League game and everything like that for next week.
Sheffield 4 just play it. So we have got a team.
Yeah, so next Wednesday, he's coming on next Wednesday evening. He's going to be talking about the X League and his role as an ambassador, but also Paul McDermott, the record for the longest ever Eagles chat. 2 hours long we had that night. God bless to Chris Fowler for that one. That was one of the best nights ever. Also, so next week we've got Paul McDermott coming back on the show. Also, now Eagles chat will be available on YouTube. Every episode from here now on will be put on YouTube. So if you miss it on live or anything like that, you can catch us on YouTube channel, Eagles Chat TV. That's the channel to look out for. Please subscribe. All episodes from now on there. I've been trying to find the old ones, but it didn't work on the computer. I've had to have done it on the original computer, and this is not the original computer I did it on.
Do you want to put the link on the group? Because I tried to share it last week, and for some reason it didn't like it. So if you stick the link on the group, we could all subscribe.
Yeah. Subscribe to us, Eagles Chat, and everything like that, and all the things will be there. Right, tomorrow. Here's one for dessert. Tomorrow's games. We've got the France derby live on Sky. Catalans versus Toulouse.
Well, you got to think Catalans should be doing it, shouldn't you?
Right. And Wakefield Cass.
Tasty. Wakefield are in good form. Wakefield are in very good form.
Leeds versus that team that play in West Yorkshire.
Can they both lose?
Yep. Warrington versus Salford.
Well, wire every day.
And then on Friday, we have the Hull derby. Hull versus KR at KR. I'll take KR on that one. And then we've got
so competitive now. Yeah.
And then we've got Saints Wigan at 3:00. Both games on Sky TV.
Saints for me, please.
And according to BBC television website, Betfred Championship, Widnes are playing Lee at 3:00.
Okay. Yep.
Featherstone are playing Barrow at 6. Batley, this is a good one. Batley versus Dewsbury.
You think that way there.
Bradford, Halifax.
Facts, please.
And Sheffield v London at 7:00 on Friday evening. That's because it was originally supposed to be Friday evening.
What the Beeb do is the Beeb put on the fixtures at the start of the season, and then they don't change them if anything gets updated. Right. So, to be honest, that's not your best protocol. Your best protocol is live scores or RFL website. Yeah. Well, even I'll tell you what I do. I go to the actual official club's websites because there's that many different things. So
in the Betfred, in NRL, you've got Penrith versus Broncos. That's on Sky.
Yes, it is. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to you about that. I'm just going to sit here and maintain a dignity. I'm not going to give Dan Fowler the satisfaction. So I'm just going to. I've got Sky Sports News on in the corner here because the telly's on to give me some light, and they've just had the NRL table on. We had a good start, but now it's going normal. Yeah. And Penrith are top 5 wins out of 5. So I'm just going to sit here and smile a little bit about that one.
Yeah. Betfred League One on Friday. We've got Rochdale versus Oldham.
That's going to be fun.
Well, Oldham did give the pasting to West Wales Raiders, and I know you're very passionate about the West Wales Raiders and your opinion on that.
I don't see the point anymore. I mean, they've been doing this now 5 years. Longer if you count South Wales Scorpions. They're not getting any better. Nothing's changing. It's pointless. I mean, even London Scholars, who have been 20 years in the league now and have very rarely made any inroads. They've made the playoffs twice, I think. Never ever looked like going up. But they've developed players that have gone on to Broncos and then gone on to other places. So they've served a purpose. West Wales I don't get it. I'm sorry. In the words of Louis Walsh on the X Factor, I just don't get it. And no, it's not doing anybody any good. It's not doing those Welsh players any good to get pasted every week. And it's not particularly done Oldham any good. running those many tries in. Yes, I'm sure they enjoyed it, but at the end, it don't matter if you win by 1 or 96. It's a win. I don't get it. No. And what's worse, and this is something I've got more passionate about recently, the top half of the conference premier, your Hunslet Warriors, not your Hunslet Warriors, your Hunslet Parkside, your Lock Lane, them, they would be more than competitive in League One. And the fact that we've got better teams in the lower division and they can't go into it for whatever reason, it just makes a mockery of the structure. Yeah. Now, I asked actually some Hunslet Parkside people why they're not in League One. And they said, we don't want to be a professional structure. We want to be, an amateur team. And I'm like, that's fine, but it makes a mockery when they're better than teams in the league above. I struggle with it. I struggle with it, to be honest.
Right.
What they should do what they do in football. And they should say, look, you're too good for this league. You've got to move up. That's what they do in football, because there's teams in Northern League. Morpeth Town were in the Northern League for years. They won it 4 years in a row. And eventually, FA said to them, enough of this nonsense, you've got to go up. And since they've gone up another twice. So we've got to look at this. It's something we've got to address, because we've got quality and we've got talent that's not in the best place for them.
Yeah. Andrew, you can blame Zoom for that. If he's out of sync with that, it's Facebook. Facebook Live's going crazy over the last few days. So it's not to do with yours. No. They've also, on Saturday, it's Donny versus Cornwall. And then on Sunday, Whitehaven, Workington. Whoa, we got the Cumbrian Derby.
That'll be tasty, especially when we're both struggling.
Yeah, definitely. And then Monday, you've got a full fixture Super League. So we're getting people to play. Right, here's prediction. How long before Monday, before Phil Clark, Barry McDermott, John Wilkin, or anybody involved with Sky Sports starts saying about the toll on the bodies of playing twice in 4 days, Good Friday and the Easter Monday? How long before they come up with that argument? Because every single year, it's the same argument. Every year they come up with it.
It's minutes, isn't it? It's minutes. The thing is, though, it's always been like that.
Yeah.
You've always played Good Friday, Bank Holiday Monday. It's a toll on the players, but they've always done it. And have the players discussed it? Have the clubs discussed this with the RFL?
Every year. It's every year they discuss it, and it never changes. It never changes. If they don't play twice in them 3 days, they'll complain about loss of income. So they can't have it both ways.
We used to do it in Championship. We used to do it Good Friday, Bank Holiday Monday. I remember distinctly doing it. And theoretically, it would be harder on us. Being a part-time team, it would be harder on the part-time teams. I'm not saying that you should be able to play every day as a professional. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's a bigger problem for us than it is for them. And we never, I don't remember us ever moaning about it.
No. Anyway, so remember, Summer Bash, get your retro jerseys out. Get them out. Come on.
Get off my television. Sorry, go on. The BBC News has come on. And it's this whole Boris scenario, and I'm fed up with that. I'm fed up with that because as a person who lockdown drove to near suicide, I don't have anything to say about that anymore. That's polite. So what I've done is I've just turned the television off, and I like to throw the telly out the window.
Yeah, we're Eagles chat. We're not question time or anything like that. We're not
question time, and I don't watch that anymore either. What else we got? What else we got to look forward to this weekend? I wouldn't. For anybody asking, because I know some people have put this on, and I think it's been on, but we'll just clarify for you. If you have an Eagles season ticket, that does get you into the Doncaster Cornwall game if you want to go watch it. And I recommend it because I'm going to have a go, and I'd like to see what this Cornwall side's about. So now, like I said, given how rubbish Donny are at the minute, it might be a competition. You never know.
Right. So that'll be an interesting match, actually.
It would be, because it'll be a gauge to see where they are. Theoretically, this is the worst team Cornwall have played based on current form. So we'll see where they are. Yeah, they've also got into a dual. Cornwall got into a dual wedge with Bradford. Now that's purely for the away games up north, isn't it? Not for people traipsing down there.
What, Cornwall?
Cornwall have entered a dual wedge with Bradford, and that's purely for the games they play up north away. No other reason. Yeah. So Ryan Miller might play for Cornwall. Oh dear, that'd be a shit. No.
Don't wish that on him.
I just think that, are we doing a dual reg this year? Because obviously we've had some lost players and we've had some injuries. Are we going to go into a dual reg? I know Tubby don't like it, but it's there to be had.
We've got to be
It actually benefited when we did it with Broncos the other year. It benefited us, and we had it with Saints not so long since either.
Yeah, I think the best thing we always say is like we leave the running of the club, everything to Tubby, because he'll know exactly. I mean, what happened this morning? He'd have been getting a plan B, plan A, or plan B by midday. He'd have been looking at it and everything and saying, right. It's like we said at start. What would we, if we could free that money and sign QLT for the rest of the season? It's a no-brainer. Yeah. Easy. I'd do it.
If we can keep him, let's keep him. I agree entirely.
Yeah. Hey, let's sign QLT's son, Phoenix. Let's get him involved as well. Give him a year in it.
I think he's destined for a higher plane than us, mate.
Yeah, but for this season, I mean, give him like championship. I mean, we'll do that.
He's not gone out to anywhere on loan, has he?
No.
But is he playing for Rovers?
Is he gone back to Keighley? I don't know.
I heard he was just at OKR and he was there. I don't think he's gone on loan anywhere. I don't think he has.
Yeah. I will look at
I don't know if he's playing for him. I don't think he is, but you know.
But QLT still do that sweet business in Sheffield because he was advertising that on the page. I think it was last year or year before.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure. You can invite him on the show and ask him.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to get him on. I'd love to get him on and see how it get the fan. I still think he drinks the same water as Indiana Jones did in the Last Crusade. In Indiana Jones' Last Crusade, I still think he does that because there's no other way for it. The youth, this fountain of youth that the South Seas players have got. It's just amazing. Menzies, QLT, Missy. I mean, Missy's 40 now and he's still playing, and he's amazing. It's absolutely outstanding. So,
Menzies, after he finished Wills, were playing Union.
Yeah,
mad fool.
Crazy. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Thank you very much to this gentleman that's to my left, or to you guys that's on your right. The jerseys are in. If you want to get your jersey, get them in now. They fit fantastic. I love the color. I think this color is amazing.
Size? Should you go up a size from your normal or
what? Katie's in. And she just said, oh, by the way, Katie's doing a surprise. She's contacted an ex-player, and I will go on record and say, if you had to put one top 13 hardest players ever pulled on a Sheffield Eagles jersey, he would be wearing the number 5. Katie, we're trying to see if we can get David Plange, ex-Sheffield Eagles player, coming on the show. So David Plange. So we can ask David Plange very simply. It's funny that Mark's video is out of sync with his voice. Yeah, all right, Mark. Andrew, you've said it twice now. Okay, what are you, a parrot? Once, hold on. Let me come close so I can do it. It's Facebook Live's fault, not ours. There we go. I'll put that right for him.
I apologise for that. Obviously, Dino runs the show. I just sign into his Zoom. If it's off, then it's a Facebook thing because I'm in sync here doing this live. Yeah. But it's obviously, it's beyond us. This it's not nice. Sorry, apologies, But
if you want to watch it again, it's on our YouTube. You haven't posted it twice. Hold on a minute. Excuse me a second. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, no. I haven't posted it. Oh, sorry.
People argue that I move my mouth and note comes out. I think that'd be a good thing.
Yeah, sorry. I've read it twice. Sorry, I've read it once. Andrew, my apologies. I apologize. Sorry, Andrew. I apologize. There you go. Look, knock me on my head. I'm sorry. Sorry, team. Sorry, team. Done it again. Yeah, it's me. It's a long day. Leave me alone. I'm 52 years old.
Apologise nearly as much as the Prime Minister.
Anyway, another time. I'm 53 next month. Leave me alone. Anyway, thanks to everybody for the wonderful support. If you want to watch it again and missed anything out, it'll be on our YouTube channel. All the replays and everything are now going to be on YouTube. We're not going to plug up the page anymore. The live show will be on the Eagles thing. So the live show will be on the Eagles legal supporters page, but the replays and everything will be on our YouTube channel. So if you want to watch it, subscribe to the YouTube, like, subscribe, share, do whatever it is and everything like that. And then we can have it. But I'm not putting the comments. You're not allowed to put comments. I'm not having that, anything like that. Any of these spammers or anything like that. I'm not having it like that. Yeah.
If you want to tell us something, you know where we are. Come and talk to us.
Yeah. If you want to come on, right? If you want to come on at any point in the future, please do so. When it gets to the first home game, I've got a feeling I've got quite a few people that are going to come up to me and go, "Oh yeah, hello, how you doing? You all right?" So I can't wait. I can't wait to get my photograph took with everybody. I really can't. I'm going on holiday. I've just told, by the way, first time in 6 years, I've got to announce it. I'm going on holiday. I'm going 2 days in Scarborough. I cannot wait. 2 days in middle of week in Scarborough. So it's that bit. I think we might have to miss that Eagles chat that week, but end of June.
Whereabouts in Scarborough you staying?
It's a Deacon's Bar and Inn. It's just around the corner from the Grand Hotel.
Dickens. I know exactly where it is.
Dickens.
Yeah. I'll tell you why I know it, because it's our first pub. I go up there with the lads once a year, and we stay in the Travel Lodge opposite the Grand, and Dickens Bar is the first bar we go in.
Oh,
It used to be called something else, which name I can't remember, but it's changed its name. It had a refurb about 5 years ago. So I know exactly where you are. Do watch Scarborough Athletic if they're playing while you're up there.
What, in middle of June?
Oh, no, they won't be. They'll be friendlies.
Yeah.
I love Scarborough. It's brilliant, mate. Enjoy.
I can't wait. I'm being Scarborough. Last time I went to Scarborough, I had my earpiece as a 24-year-old. So that shows you how long ago.
I don't think it's changed very much in the meantime. All the stuff on the front will still be the same.
Yeah. No landslides.
It's a great deal. They've done some stuff, but not a lot.
No landslides up like that then. Right. Anyway, we're getting out of here. Good luck to the boys on Saturday. Hope everybody enjoys your day out at Doncaster. It's next to the last home game away we can have for the next 5 years. Just think, 2 more games. There's London and Newcastle, and then the Eagles are home. And that flag gets flown on the 23rd of May at the Olympic Legacy Park for the first time ever. So I never like that. Okay.
And just think, if we get to the final, we'll have the home game and then the final the same week.
Ooh, what a preparation. What a preparation that'll be.
All right.
Right. Good luck, guys, everybody. Thanks, Mark, mate. You take care. I'll speak to you soon. All right, pal?
You too.
Anyway,
See you soon, mate.
Take care, guys. Good night. God bless. Bye-bye.